The Galactic Council Hall floated above a blue star, wide and bright, built to show power and peace. Inside, the leaders of the galaxy sat in tall seats made of crystal and metal. They talked calmly. Some laughed. Others checked glowing screens with slow, bored eyes. This meeting was supposed to be easy. At the center of the hall, the High Speaker raised a thin hand. The room quieted. Next topic, the High Speaker said. Human trade routes. A few leaders smiled. One even made a soft clicking laugh. Humans, said the War Minister of the Zarn Empire. They are still using old engines and weak hulls. They pose no threat. Several heads nodded. The humans had been quiet for a long time. They stayed on the edge of the galaxy, trading minerals, food, and tools. No large fleets. No loud demands. No wars. Just silence. They were once clever builders, another leader said. But builders are not warriors. The High Speaker tapped the air, bringing up a star map. Small human systems blinked near the edge. They looked harmless. Small. Far away. Then we agree, the High Speaker said. No action needed. That was when the lights flickered. At first, no one reacted. Power shifts happened often in deep space. But then the floor hummed. Not loud. Not violent. Just deep. Like something heavy moving nearby. A sensor officer stood up fast. High Speaker, he said. We are detecting something. The room turned toward him. Something? The War Minister asked. Be clear. The officer swallowed. Multiple objects. Entering the outer scan range. Size, unknown. Screens around the hall changed. Numbers rolled too fast. Signals overlapped. The systems tried to lock on, then failed. Unknown, the High Speaker said. Classify them. We are trying, the officer replied. His voice shook. The readings do not match any known ship design. A soft laugh came from the back. Probably debris, someone said. Or a merchant convoy. But the laugh stopped when the first image appeared. It was dark. Long sharp lines cut across its surface. No bright colors. No banners. No symbols. Just black metal, smooth and silent, filling the screen edge to edge. The hall went quiet. The officer zoomed out. The image grew smaller. And smaller. Until everyone could see it was not one object. It was a fleet. Rows of massive ships drifted in perfect formation. Each one was larger than the largest alien battleship ever built. They moved without visible engines. No heat trails. No noise. Just motion. Identify origin, the High Speaker whispered. The officer's hands moved fast. Signal traces, alloy patterns, energy core type, he paused. His eyes widened. They are human. A shock passed through the room like a cold wind. That is not possible, the War Minister said. Humans cannot build ships like that. The officer shook his head. The data does not lie. More images appeared. Different angles. Different ships. Some were wide and flat like moving cities. Others were long and narrow like spears. All of them were armed. Heavy armor. Hidden weapon ports. Shields layered over shields. Are they charging weapons? A leader asked. No, the officer said. They are not doing anything. That was worse. The fleet did not slow. It did not change direction. It moved straight toward the core systems, calm and steady. Open a channel, the High Speaker ordered. The officer tried. Nothing. No response, he said. They are not answering any hails. Fear crept into voices. Raise defenses. Alert border fleets. Call emergency session. Orders flew, but none brought comfort. Then a new reading flashed red. The officer stared at it. High speaker, they are mapping us. Mapping? Someone asked. Yes, he said. Every planet. Every station. Every defense grid. All at once. The hall felt suddenly very small. On the main screen, one ship moved forward, slightly ahead of the rest. It was larger than the others. Its surface shifted, plates sliding into new shapes. For a moment, it seemed to look straight at the council hall. The high speaker felt a deep fear settle in his chest. These are not traitors, he said softly. No one argued. The screen zoomed in one last time. The black hull filled the view. Silent. Patient. And for the first time in centuries, the leaders of the galaxy understood one simple truth. Humanity had not stayed quiet because it was weak. It had stayed quiet because it was ready. The Galactic Council Hall was no longer calm. Alarms did not scream, but the silence felt heavier than any warning sound. Leaders who once laughed now sat frozen, eyes locked on the screens. The human fleet continued to move, slow and steady, as if time itself bent around it. Across the galaxy, the panic began. On distant worlds, defense stations powered up for the first time in decades. Old commanders were pulled from retirement. Young pilots were rushed into ships they barely understood. Borders that had stayed open for centuries slammed shut in hours. News spread faster than light. Human warships sighted. Unknown human fleet approaching core systems. Size exceeds all known records. On one mining planet, workers stopped mid-shift and stared at the sky as emergency beacons flashed. On a luxury world, citizens ran from towers, clutching children and data tablets. No one had prepared for this. No one had believed humans could do this. Back in the council hall, a tall alien with silver skin stood up. He was the fleet lord of the Kesh Dominion, a race known for its massive navy. This is a test, he said, trying to sound calm. Humans are showing force. They want attention. The war minister shook his head. No. This is not how one asks for attention. He pointed to the screen. The human ships were spreading out. Not randomly. With purpose. Some moved closer to key trade lanes. Others hovered near military hubs. A few stopped near old battle sites from ancient wars. They know our history, the war minister said. They studied us. A new alert appeared. Border Fleet Gamma reporting, the officer said. They are retreating. Retreating? The high speaker asked. Why? They did not engage, the officer replied. The human fleet passed near them. No weapons fire. No threats. But the human ships adjusted formation. Our fleet lost power for 3 seconds. Murmurs filled the hall. 3 seconds, someone whispered. Yes, the officer said. Long enough to show control. On another screen, a small alien fleet drifted in space, engines dark. Human ships passed them like giants walking past insects. The aliens did not move. They did not fire. They simply powered down and waited. Fear was spreading not through battle, but through understanding. These ships are not reacting to us, a scientist leader said. They are predicting us. More data poured in. Human ships were scanning everything. Not just weapons. Population centers. Energy grids. Communication nodes. Even weather systems. They are learning how we live, the scientist said. And how we fall. Suddenly, a sharp sound cut through the hall. A single message appeared on every screen. It was not a voice. Not a video. Just text. Simple. Clear. Observe. Learn. Do not interfere. The room erupted. What does that mean? Is that a threat? Are they warning us? The High Speaker raised both hands. Silence returned, but fear remained. They are not here to negotiate, he said slowly. And they are not here to conquer. Not yet. Outside the council hall, more reports arrived. A proud alien empire near the outer rim had tried to block a human ship's path. They activated weapons. Issued commands. Demanded retreat. The human ship did not respond. It changed course slightly. That was all. The alien weapon system shut down instantly. No damage. No explosion. Just silence. Their ships drifted helplessly as the human vessel passed through their formation like a shadow. No one was harmed. That made it worse. Back in the hall, an ancient historian spoke for the first time. His voice was weak, but the room leaned in. There were stories, he said. Long before the council. Stories of builders who learned war to survive. They left when the galaxy grew arrogant. The High Speaker turned slowly. Humans, he said. The historian nodded. They did not forget us. We forgot them. On the main screen, the human fleet stopped moving. Every ship held position at once. Perfect stillness. The officer swallowed hard. High Speaker, they are waiting. Waiting for what? Someone asked. The High Speaker stared at the silent black ships, feeling the weight of centuries pressed down on him. They are waiting, he said, to see who makes the first mistake. And across the galaxy, leaders realized a terrifying truth. This was not an invasion. It was a lesson. The galaxy did not sleep. Every major world stayed awake under artificial skies, watching data streams and star maps. The human fleet remained still, spread across key points like dark statues carved from space itself. No weapons fired. No warnings repeated. Just waiting. In the Galactic Council Hall, fear slowly turned into desperation. Why are they not attacking? A leader asked. Why show power and then stop? No predator rushes when it knows prey cannot escape, the ancient historian replied quietly. The High Speaker ordered all historical archives opened. Records sealed for thousands of years were unlocked. Forbidden files. Lost wars. Old alliances erased by time. What they found shook them more than the ships. Long ago, before the council existed, the galaxy had burned. Not from human war, but from alien greed. Expanding empires fought over stars. Smaller species were crushed or enslaved. Technology grew fast, but wisdom did not. And in those records, one name appeared again and again. Humans. They were not conquerors, a researcher said, scrolling through old text. They were defenders. Images appeared on the screens. Ancient human ships, smaller than the current fleet, but advanced for their time. They fought beside many races. They built shields around weak worlds. They shared technology freely. Then why did they leave? The War Minister asked. The room fell silent as the next files opened. Humans had been betrayed. Allied races turned on them, fearing human growth. Secret attacks. Sabotage. Entire human colonies wiped out while the galaxy looked away. When humans demanded justice, the old councils delayed, debated, and finally did nothing. They learned something, the historian said. That the galaxy talks about peace, but only respects strength. A new alert interrupted the moment. High Speaker, the officer said. We have a situation. One of the most aggressive alien empires, the Drax Coalition, had moved its fleet. Hundreds of ships jumped into position near a human warship that guarded a major trade lane. They are preparing to fire, the officer said. The council erupted in panic. Tell them to stand down. Send warnings. It is too late, the war minister said. The Drax do not listen. On the main screen, the Drax fleet formed attack lines. Weapons charged, glowing with raw energy. Their commanders believed what many still believed deep down. That humans were bluffing. The first shot fired. It never reached its target. Space around the human ship bent. The energy beam twisted, stretched, and vanished as if swallowed. The human ship did not move. Then it responded. No bright blast. No loud explosion. A pulse spread outward, invisible but fast. Every Drax ship went dark. Engines off. Weapons offline. Shields gone. They floated, helpless, like broken toys. The human ship did not finish them. It did not chase. It did not threaten. It simply turned slightly and returned to its original position. Across the galaxy, fleets froze. They could have destroyed them, a council member whispered. Yes, the war minister said. And they chose not to. That choice terrified everyone. More data flowed in. Human ships were self-repairing. Damage reports showed that even when struck by test weapons, their hulls adapted in real time. Their systems were run by layered artificial minds, each able to command alone if needed. These ships are not built for war alone, a scientist said. They are built to survive anything. The High Speaker felt cold. So why now, he asked. Why return after all this time? The historian closed the archive. Because the galaxy forgot the lesson, he said. Power without responsibility. Growth without restraint. As if in answer, a new message appeared on every screen. Not text this time. A human voice. Calm. Steady. Not angry. You watched us leave, the voice said. You watched us rebuild in silence. We did not come for revenge. The fleet lights shifted slightly, like eyes opening. We came because the galaxy is standing where it stood before the last great fall. The message ended. No threat. No demand. But every leader understood. Humanity was not testing weapons. It was testing judgment. And the galaxy was running out of chances. The galaxy held its breath. Human warships stayed in place, silent and unmoving, like dark moons guarding the stars. No new scans. No weapon movement. No pressure. That silence was heavier than any attack. Inside the Galactic Council Hall, no one argued anymore. Leaders who once fought for power now sat close together, whispering. Pride had vanished. Only fear and regret remained. They are waiting for us to decide, the High Speaker said quietly. Decide what? Someone asked. Whether we have learned anything at all. Before anyone could reply, every screen in the hall changed at once. The image was simple. A human. Not armored. Not standing on a battlefield. Just a human commander in a dark uniform, seated calmly. His face showed age, not weakness. His eyes were steady. He looked directly into the camera. I am Commander Hale, the human said. His voice was even, controlled, and clear. I speak for the Human Defense Union. No shouting. No dramatic tone. Just truth. You see our ships, Hale continued. You feel fear. That is expected. Fear keeps you alive. Some leaders shifted uncomfortably. We did not return to conquer you, Hale said. If we wanted that, this meeting would not exist. The image shifted. Behind him appeared old recordings. Burning worlds. Broken cities. Refugee ships drifting in space. The same images the council had just uncovered. You abandoned balance once, Hale said. You called it politics. We called it betrayal. The room went silent. But we did not strike back, Hale continued. We left. We rebuilt. We learned. The screen showed human worlds hidden behind massive defense rings. Fleets training in deep space. Generations growing up preparing for a war they hoped would never come. We became quiet, Hale said. Not because we were afraid. But because we were watching. A leader finally spoke. Why come back now? Hale did not answer right away. He leaned forward slightly. Because the signs are back, he said. Expansion without care. Power without restraint. Strong empires feeding on weak ones. You are repeating history. The war minister swallowed hard. And if we deny that, he asked. Hale's eyes did not change. Then we intervene, he said simply. No threat followed. No dramatic pause. Just fact. We are not your rulers, Hale said. And we will not be your victims again. The image zoomed out. Behind Hale, the massive human fleet became visible, spread across the stars like a protective wall. These ships are not weapons of conquest, he said. They are boundaries. He raised one hand slightly. Cross them, and we respond. Another pause. Respect them, and we protect. The message ended. No farewell. No final warning. The screen went dark. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then something unexpected happened. One by one, alien leaders stood. Not in fear. In respect. The high speaker rose slowly. His voice trembled, not with weakness, but with understanding. We were not ready for your ships, he said softly. But perhaps, we are ready for your lesson. Across the galaxy, orders were sent. Aggressive fleets were recalled. Border worlds received aid. Slave systems were dismantled under emergency law. Old treaties were rewritten in hours instead of centuries. Human ships did not move. They watched. Days passed. Then weeks. The galaxy changed. Not because humans forced it to. But because everyone finally believed they would. On a distant star, a young alien child looked up at the sky and asked, "Who are the humans?" The answer spread across worlds, carried in simple words. "They are the ones who could destroy us," the reply said. "And choose not to." Far beyond the core systems, the human fleet remained. Silent. Ready. And for the first time in a very long time, the galaxy felt something new. Not fear. Balance.